Hello and welcome to day 8 of our masterclass. This is the Flow team and we are in the hot seat. So we're going to answer all of your burning questions. We are live streaming on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, as well as YouTube. So feel free to come into the chat and ask any burning questions that you have about social media and growing your business. So I am going to turn it over to Ashley. Ashley, if you can share with us some of the questions our audience has.
Of course. So one of the top asked questions from our audience is, how does social listening help in understanding the sentiment around specific neighborhoods or property types?
Answer this one. As a realtor, social listening is a really powerful tool for you. It's all about really keeping your ear to the ground online and monitoring those conversations to really just understand how people perceive the neighborhoods or property types that you're focused on. It provides invaluable insights into those sentiments and lets you address concerns proactively and helps tailor what strategies you're making in order to know what the community is discussing and valuing and really make the strategies around that. It's a game changer in the real estate landscape because it'll really help you be the community expert.
Great information there, Lindsay. I have another question here from the audience. What are the key elements for a successful real estate marketing strategy on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn?
I can answer that one also if y'all are okay with it.
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so across platforms, you really want to focus on the visual appeal, engagement, and strategic content that you're putting out. Really on Facebook, you want to go with optimizing that business page and creating shareable content for your audience. Really make use of those ads only when it really makes sense. Instagram, you're going to want to emphasize the high quality visuals. Instagram's a really big visual platform. You want to have interactive features and collaborations with people on that platform. And then LinkedIn, you want to showcase the thought leadership pieces, the articles, and really get into those groups and participate. Use strategic posting based on what your goals are. Really consistent monitoring of the analytics on all of those platforms is essential to refine your approach.
Great answer, Lindsay. And then Kara, the audience has a question for you. They say, can you share insights on the typical timeline for seeing a positive ROI from social media marketing efforts in real estate?
Sure. So I'm sure this is going to come as no surprise to everyone, but social media is a long game. It is not a short game. It is not a quick fix for your business. It absolutely helps you over time. So in terms of timeframes where you can see a return, we always say give it 3 months, but for an ROI, I always like to say give it 6 months. 3 months for engagement, but 6 months for ROI. We would be able to do a deeper dive and analyze how that social media is contributing to your business. And we talked about Donna's case study the other day. In that case study, we looked at the entire year. We can look at a year, or we can look at a 6-month time frame, and then we can also track how that changes over time with your social media. Hopefully that answered the question, Ashley.
Yep, that answered it very well. We have another question here. It says, I use a company who posts for me but haven't seen any results. Why? It makes me want to give up on social media.
I can take that one. So there's a lot that goes into social media. It is absolutely not something you can just set and forget. And unfortunately, with a lot of companies that will post for you, there isn't that coaching and partnership from the get-go that you really need to be an active participant in your own social media. It is social media, social for a reason. You can't just have it out there and not engage at all. So that is one of the primary reasons. If you think that you are just going to be able to hire someone, pay them $100 a month and never check your social media and get a bunch of leads, then unfortunately that is a misconception that is you're wasting your money. So make sure that if you are hiring a company to help you help you, not do, help you with your social media, that you are still an active participant in it. There's lots of companies out there that will post just templated posts for you, and that is absolutely fine as long as you are getting on and posting your own reels and putting pictures of your dogs or what your favorite local restaurant. Those are the things that are actually going to get people to look at your content. The templated posts, while they're great and they help with your brand awareness and all of that, the main reason for those are to keep you up in the algorithms, make sure that there's the consistency of posting. And even if you have a couple days where you are not able to go on and do some more authentic, personal posting. So don't give up on social media, but make sure that you are doing a little bit more on your front, because just having some generic posts out there isn't going to get you the results that you need.
Great
Hopefully that-
information there, Lynn. Christy, the audience is asking, which I'm not surprised by this question since video has been a topic in social media. So they're asking, what are some best practices for creating reels?
Ooh, I can take this one because it's one of my favorites. So there are a lot of best practices, and I could honestly talk for hours about this, but I will try to just give a couple best practices. So number one, trending audio. This is one that we get a lot of questions on, and people are not 100% sure what trending audio is and means. And the great news is that this allows for you to have video that you actually don't have to talk in, which that's one of the biggest pieces of feedback that we get from people is like, I don't feel comfortable on video. It's fine. You don't even have to be on the video. It can be you walking around, taking video from the perspective of you, right? So the camera's not faced at you. You can put it with some trending audio, which you absolutely should do. Now, what trending audio is a whole nother conversation, because and a lot of people don't even know this, but there's this little up arrow that's next to audio. So if you're scrolling through your reels, you'll see this little up arrow, right? That means that audio is trending. So that's a good indication that this may be a good audio to use. But you want to go a little bit beyond that and actually click into the audio and see how many uses it has. Because just like hashtags, the more uses it has, the more you are going to be in a sea of a bunch of other content. So the best audio to use is audio that is trending, doesn't have actually that many uses yet. So maybe it's at 2,000 uses. That would be great. A lot of people hear audio over and over again as they're scrolling, and they're like, oh yeah, I want to use that. And they use it and don't even think about the fact that it already has millions of pieces of content out there with the same audio. You're going to be one of millions. So look for audio that has less uses, but is still trending, and that the original has a lot of views. So if you go into the audio itself, it'll show you the pieces of content that have used it. It'll show you the original. If it has millions of views, that's even better. That is a great piece of audio to use. Click the save button or click the use audio button and go ahead and create your reel. So that is one of the things that is probably the biggest game changer in creating reels. Other best practices, keep them short. Right now, really 5 to 10 seconds is as long as you should go if you really want that video to get lots and lots of views. Have some sort of hook. So make sure that in the first second, there's a reason that people should keep watching for the next 6 seconds, or they should, read the caption. That's a best practice. And just make sure it's either entertaining or fun or educational. Something that people think, what would I want to watch? So those are probably the biggest best practices that get overlooked, at least at this point.
Great answer, Christine. I do want to mention that a lot of the trending audio you can relate back to real estate, your real estate business. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. I had a client reach out to me wanting to use an audio, a trending audio that just says me obsessed with you. Yes. So she was like, how can I use this for my real estate business? And I was like, I don't think a lot of people realize that people love to see beautiful homes on your social media. Like they can be scrolling for hours just looking at beautiful kitchens. So I was like, take a video of one of your listings that has this beautiful kitchen and, use that sound. And it performed really well for her. She didn't even have to show her face or do much. It's just the fact that whenever users get online, just give them what they want, which I know that a lot of people as of right now in the social media game, they love looking at beautiful homes. They love looking at, what they could have one day or not, or what, maybe they're looking for a home and they're on Instagram and they're like, you know what, that's in my area. I want to check that home out. So I just wanted to kind of mention that
No,
fact.
Ashley, that's a great point, that aspirational, because we see that all the time. And I tell clients all the time, make sure that you are posting, even if it's not a listing that you currently have, even if it's something from your own home, something that people are going to stop and go, wow, I would love to have that in my home. To your point, the kitchens, everyone loves to look at kitchens, right? There's a reason that when people show their listing photos, there's exterior, the living area, kitchen, and backyard. And people aren't always touting bedrooms unless there's something really, really cool, or bathrooms unless there's something really cool, because those areas, the living room, the kitchen, the backyard, the living space, those are what people really, really want to have, this like aspirational goal to have the most amazing of. So I absolutely agree with that. And I love that you had that experience with a client where they were asking, how do I use this audio? Because that's so true. People see it. I don't know what that audio originated as, but it was probably something that was not real estate, and they get tunnel vision and they're like, oh, I can't use that. But if you don't look at the image while you're listening to the video, there's so many times that it can relate to real estate. So I love that example. Thank you for giving that.
No problem. And then we have another question here. It says, are there any trends in Instagram aesthetics or themes that resonate well with the real estate audience?
Yes. So a little bit of what we were just talking about, cool features, aspirational features, things that one of the hooks, honestly, that gets people a lot of views is what XYZ, what $2 million in this city, what $5 million in this city can get you. So anytime you are showing aspirational features like a kitchen, like a backyard, I know I just said a lot of times people don't show bathrooms and bedrooms, but we've also seen really amazing features, especially in bathrooms, where that people would not think to put in their personal home. So aesthetically, showing those on your grid, having those wow moments for your network when they're scrolling, like, wow, that person literally has a spa in their house. That bathroom's amazing. Those are the types of images that you want to have out there. Additionally, this is pretty consistent across all of our clients and everyone always. Images, videos, anything that you put out there that has a person like you, your face in it, anything, or your dog or an animal, they do so much better than just a plain picture. So if there is a really cool kitchen and you do feel comfortable in front of the camera, maybe doing a little photo shoot there, show yourself in the kitchen, give it a little bit of perspective of having a person there. that is going to get a lot more engagement than just a picture of the kitchen. So faces, animals. So again, talking about the aspirational goals, if you have a backyard, a beautiful fenced in backyard, and the homeowner has an animal, like a dog, maybe go out and throw the ball for the dog a couple times and take a video of it. People love that.
I can speak to that a little bit more. Not only will you have this beautiful picture of a kitchen and yourself in it, but I also think that working it into the caption as well, kind of like asking engaging questions so that they're not only seeing you with the beautiful kitchen, but they're looking at the caption and wanting to know a little bit more. So I do think it all correlates well and it all goes really well together, kind of, like seeing all of these trends on Instagram and you're like, well, how can I use that for real estate? Well, take a picture of yourself, in a beautiful kitchen. It can be your own kitchen and kind of ask an engaging question so you can engage your audience and so that they're not only keeping you in mind, but also kind of engaging with you and asking you these questions or answering the question that you ask them. So, Christy, I have one last question for you. They are asking, how often should we be posting on each platform specifically?
So that is a great question. And I know in the previous days we've gone over some of at a very, very broad stroke level when you should be posting and how you should be posting and how often. So if I'm going to focus on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook primarily, happy to answer any other questions on any of these. But I've said this a lot over the past couple of days, and I'm going to say it again. These are very, very general. Okay. So they are a good starting place. However, please do not take this and say, oh, great, I can post X amount of times on this platform forever at this time, and I'm going to be good to go, because they're general, they're a starting place. If you use a scheduling tool and you set it to post 3 times a week at X, Y, and Z times on this platform and never look at it again, you are doing yourself a disservice. So it's a good starting place. Please make sure that you are constantly keeping up with your social media. And when your network is online, everyone has different networks who are, have different professions and do different things. Obviously, so for example, I am a mom and Lindsay's a mom. We are probably awake and scrolling Instagram or Facebook at very different times than younger, maybe than Ashley, for example, who is newly married but does not have kids yet, versus Kara versus Michaela. We probably all have very, very different networks because of our lifestyles. So you have to keep that in mind when you think about your network. So again, general rule of thumb on LinkedIn, you want to be posting minimum of 3 times a week up to once a day. Generally, as a general rule, I'm going to keep saying that, morning, so 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., good time to post because people are getting started with their day, but they were like, I don't really want to answer all these emails yet, but I'm sitting at my work computer, so I'm just going to get on LinkedIn because it's kind of workish, right? And then lunch hour, really 11:30 to 1:30, because everyone takes lunches at a different time. Good time to post on LinkedIn. For Facebook, I really suggest no more than once a day. If you occasionally need to do twice a day because there's an event going on and you're really trying to promote something, absolutely fine. You can utilize stories. I would post at least 5 times a week on Facebook. And timing wise, generally during the day is good on Facebook. So you're looking 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. are good times to post. And again, you can post stories. You can post as many of those as you want. They come, they go. That's fine. Great for kind of quick 24-hour content. For Instagram, I would not post. You can post a little bit more on Instagram. I would not post 2 times a day, every single day. But if you do post 2 times a day, a couple times, that's fine. As long as your content is varied. Please do not post the same house for sale with the same image, the same call to action, and the same information twice every day. That's not going to be good. But if you're posting something about a restaurant that you love when you go there at night, but earlier that day you had posted something about real estate or a kitchen or whatever, totally fine, because there's very different content. You're not going to annoy people with the same repetitive message over and over again. So I would post no more than probably 8 times a week. So whether that's twice in a day or twice in a couple days, I would post probably no more than 8 times a week on Instagram on your grid. And that includes graphics, reels, whatnot. And then again, with stories, do it anytime. The more stories, the better. Honestly, I suggest people do stories over ads because it just gets you front and center and you're actually reaching the people that you want to be reaching. So that is my general recommendation. Oh, and for Instagram, I would say right now, and again, this is based off of our holistic analytics of all of our clients, morning time does really well on Instagram and late evening does really well on Instagram. Generally for a large group of our clients and all of their networks. So we're talking about a big subset, but it's still very, very specific on your network. So that's general. I absolutely suggest that you try out a bunch of different times and take a look at the analytics and see what's really working for you.
And I'll add to that, like once you look at the analytics, it can take 4 to 6 weeks to really see changes. So when you try out those different times, giving yourself the opportunity to let a certain time have a chance and see if your network is actually on it can make a big difference in what your audience is actually seeing and engaging with.
Yep. Absolutely.
Great. In there.
Awesome.
That's
Do we have
all.
any other? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Kara. I was just going to say that's all the questions we have for today. I'm not sure if you wanted to add anything else.
I don't at the moment. I feel like you guys have given the audience an incredible amount of value and some really great nuggets that they can take and implement. So I think, Christy, unless you had anything else you wanted to add, I think we're ready to wrap. Certainly, if anybody has any other questions, you can reach out to us. You can go to our website at stayinflowmarketing.com and hit the contact us button, or you can book a discovery call and connect with us. And we would love to answer any questions that you have and see if you're interested in a partnership and how we can help you elevate your social media to grow your business. Our Buy Now bonuses end on Tuesday night at 10 o'clock. So again, if you have any questions about that, please let us know. We've got 2 bonuses out there. One is for our monthly membership, and the savings is up to $750 because we're going to give you 2 to 3 refreshes or page setups to really get your social media totally aligned and ready to go, and that they're working together in the background to boost all of your content up in the algorithms. And with our second Buy Now bonus, if you join us and purchase either our top producer or icon package and 2 or 3 platforms and pay in full, you will get 2 months free plus the 2 to 3 pages of setup and refreshes. And that's a savings of up to $1,750 over the course of a year. So give us a call, check out our buy now bonuses, and let us know how we can add value to your business. So that is it for today. Team, thank you guys so much. I always appreciate all the insights that you have, fantastic insights that you share with our audience. And until then, happy posting and stay in flow.